The Not Just Bikes YouTube channel launched just over a year ago, and that first year has gone very differently than I expected. The original purpose of Not Just Bikes was simple: to explain why, out of all the countries we've lived in and visited, we chose to relocate our family to the Netherlands, and to publish our experience and research online for other people in a similar situation. Specifically, Dutch cities are child-friendly, and children have a lot of independence here. Neighborhoods are lively and interesting, with everything you could want within walking distance. Cities here haven't been destroyed by highways. And there are even places that are almost completely free of cars that are wonderful to be in. The streets are safe, and we don't fear getting hit by cars when walking. And cars rarely crash into buildings, too. Public transit is efficient and reliable, and doesn't get stuck in traffic. Everyday tasks such as grocery shopping, taking out the garbage, even waiting at traffic lights are more efficient. There are always viable alternatives to driving, and even some options that are unavailable almost anywhere else. Cycling is quick, convenient, and safe. And we can ride a bicycle without ever having to become a cyclist. So in that sense, this channel is done, as I've completed what I set out to do. But as I started making these videos, I noticed myself saying the same thing over and over. But I'll talk about that in more detail in a future video. I'll talk about that in more detail in the future, and I will talk about that in a future video. But more on that in a future video. But I'll talk about that in more detail in a future video. And this will definitely be a topic for a future video. I have enough video ideas to last at least the next 2 years, so this channel isn't going anywhere anytime soon. However, the topics and formats will certainly change. Not every video is going to be about how great the Netherlands is. Some videos may be short. More people. Fewer cars. Some videos may be long. And now we'll discuss the implications of this as it pertains to mid-century traffic engineering principles. Next slide, please. I'm also starting a new channel, NJB Live, where I will try out some new concepts with live streaming. I'm not really sure what direction this new channel will take, but I'll start with some live stream bicycle and walking tours. So if you're interested, subscribe to NJB Live. I'll put a link in the description. As I look back at the past year of Not Just Bikes, it's been very funny to watch all of the footage I filmed but didn't use. Originally, this channel was going to be more of a vlog style, where I speak to the camera. This is a really shitty place to be. But at least there's a sidewalk. And I was particularly proud of this excellent cross-continent sentence from my first video. And it certainly explains why I like living in London, England, but hated London, Ontario. But as I started producing videos, I found it was much more relevant to show actual street scenes rather than just talking to the camera. Plus, I always hated trying to get the script right while I was on location. On the edge of the 401, North America's largest freeway. Not Just Bikes can be a rather silly channel at times. Enhance 34 to 46. Give me a hard copy right there. But I originally planned for it to be a lot sillier. The intro to my grocery shopping video was supposed to have me green screened into an Albert Heijn. Oh, there it is. The only video that kept its original intro and outro was continuous sidewalks. By the end of this video, I hope to get you excited about sidewalks. It's also been fascinating to speak to people here in the Netherlands who have grown up in these environments but didn't realize they were intentionally designed this way. I never expected that the channel would appeal to so many Dutch people, but it makes sense, as most people never think about how their city is planned. But regardless of where you're from, I'm happy to share what I've learned about urban planning and Dutch city design. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the Netherlands is still my top country for viewers, but it's down to below 30% now. I've shown a lot of Dutch cities in my videos. So far I've shown clips from Haarlem, Veenendaal, Zwolle, Groningen, Nijmegen, Utrecht, Amstelveen, Diemen, Terschelling, Harlingen, Leiden, Ermelo, Woerden, Hoek van Holland, Rotterdam, and Assen, with several other cities filmed but not yet included in videos. This was starting to get confusing, so a few months ago I began labeling the cities as I show them. I really enjoyed how confused and even angry some people became when they saw scenes like this labeled as London. So I clarified it in later videos. If there's one thing I want you to learn from this channel, it's that there's a London in Canada, and it's crappy. My videos have definitely changed over the past year. When I first started out, nobody was really watching my videos, and I was happy to just share my personal experiences. But as the channel is seen by a wider audience, I need to do more research and make sure the things I've heard are actually true, which makes the videos much more time-consuming to produce. It's no longer just about my personal experience, it's now effectively teaching people how things work here in the Netherlands, which is a lot of responsibility for a foreigner. I do find it funny though, when people watch my year-old videos and write angry comments like, "That's not the way it works for me in Amsterdam, you're lying!" Buddy, the video is about how we have no garbage day, not you. It's not called Jackass 42 and everyone else has no garbage day. But as a wise YouTuber once told me, never read the comments after the first couple of days. Another fascinating thing about running this channel is learning how YouTube works behind the scenes. To a creator, the YouTube algorithm is a black box, and there's no way to understand what it will do. A few weeks ago, YouTube randomly started recommending my 10-month-old Garbage Day video, to the point where it became my most watched video for the week. Ultimately, Google is an advertising company, and they will promote whichever videos make them the most money through advertising. And clearly, ad companies are paying a lot for garbage videos these days. For the same reason, creators need to enable as many ads as possible, because if you don't, your videos won't be recommended by the algorithm. So creators get to choose between annoying ads or less people watching their content. Yay. Of course, Not Just Bikes has also expanded beyond YouTube. You can check out Not Just Bikes on Twitter, which is technically where this channel started, before I got frustrated with Twitter's 140-second video length limitation. There's also a Not Just Bikes subreddit, with some interesting posts now and then. And you can check out Not Just Bikes on Instagram, for a motorcycle enthusiast who hasn't posted anything since 2018. And lastly, there's the Not Just Bikes Facebook page, in case your grandma or racist uncle wants to follow the channel. As you might expect, the coronavirus has had a big impact on my filming. I had planned to film several videos about trains that I was never able to complete. I also had to cancel my trip back to Canada this year, which meant I had to change how I filmed several of my videos. Stock footage to the rescue, I guess. So while the recent travel restrictions have really limited where I can film, I will still find ways to make videos. I may need to crowdsource as well, so if you'd like to contribute some clips from your city, please let me know in the comments. There are definitely a lot of videos still to come because when it comes to urban planning, there's so much left to be said. The way our cities are designed is really important because it has a drastic impact on how we live our lives. City design affects the way we travel, the places we spend our time, the people we meet, the way we raise our children, the amount of energy we use, our financial stability, and so much more. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you subscribe to follow the next year of Not Just Bikes. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my supporters on Patreon because no, seriously, thank you so much. I have been really amazed that over 160 people would spend their hard-earned cash to keep this channel online. I especially want to thank Chris Albert Lee, Tyson Moore, George Liu, Cashew, Spartak Kagramanyan, and T. de Kock, who have joined to the highest level as train patrons. I also want to thank all of my tram patrons, shown here, as well as 130 other people who have contributed to the channel. I create at least one bonus video each month for patrons, so if you'd like to support the channel and get access to those bonus videos, visit patreon.com/notjustbikes. That's it. There's no joke at the end.